Welcome, Philippine Bible Ministries. I got an idea for a video. I didn't write anything down this time, so this is off the cuff, as they say. This may be a notions on the Christian life. I don't know how deep it's going to go. The devil has a plan. The devil has a plan. Okay, what's the devil's plan? To destroy mankind. Why? Because God loves mankind. He's jealous. The devil's, it says he wanted to rise up above God, the Lucifer, the bright and morning star, the beautiful. They say he's one of the most beautiful created beings, one of the most, maybe the most. And he says, "Yeah, I will rise above the Most High. I will do all these things." And God throws him out. And he's like running around trying to destroy us, trying to kill. So anything that kills humanity, kills human beings in large quantities, is from the devil. It's really not. You don't have to be a brain scientist. You don't need to say, "Wow, I wonder if there's some." People say, "Well, they're conspiracy theorists." Yeah, I am a conspiracy theorist. The devil's behind all the conspiracies. They may look like human beings doing this stuff, and many of them are well-meaning. So let's talk about some stuff from the 20th century, okay? We don't need to go back in the way back. I can go back in the way back. We can go back thousands of years. But, we can start at the very beginning at Adam and Eve, right? But we don't need to do that. We got some stuff that happened in the 20th century that I can just kind of lay out for you guys. Some of it might be controversial. I'll try not to stir it up too bad, but I am sort of a pot stirrer. But sometimes people need to be stirred. Heck, I need to be kicked in the face sometimes. That's how slow I am. Say, "Oh, wait a minute. Now I know what you want me to do, or pay attention, Lord." So let's start off with communism. Okay, how many millions of people? Look it up. How many millions of people did Mao Zedong murder? How many millions of people did the Russia Stalin murder? How many? Huh? Look it up. Look it up. Look up all the horror and atrocities that they did. I wonder where that came from. Oh, wait a minute. Communism's godless. Okay. So maybe that came from Satan. I'm just saying. You think Satan influences people? You think people are not possessed anymore? Oh, that doesn't happen anymore because we have science now. And of course, it's even though it says that in the Bible, that's just those people. They were ignorant. They didn't understand that it was just mental health issues. Yeah, it's mental health issues, all right, because the devil's in you. So of course you have mental health issues. It happens. Either influences or possesses people. So communism, that's a huge one. More people killed by communism, by the way, a lot more than Adolf Hitler, but he's the famous one. No one ever talks about Stalin and Mao anymore. They killed a lot more people. And that's another one, Nazis. And by the way, Nationalist Socialist Party, the Nazis are not right wing extremists, as we were led to be taught through some people who may not have been 100% factual. There are left wing socialists to the nth. Okay, so Nazism. Okay, so those are simple. Those are pretty simple. Let's talk about a couple more. It's about abortion. Okay, now I know that's a subject we might lose the election in America because people want their right to choose. Okay, so be it, I say. But anyway, the murder of innocent unborn children. First of all, what have they done? What have those children done to deserve? Well, I know a woman's right, and it could be horrible having a child. Yeah, well, there's other things you could do. Put it up for adoption. What I don't want to talk about that. I just want to say how many millions of babies have been murdered. How many millions of unborn children in the womb, right? And it started off. It started off. It was Margaret Sanger. It started off somebody who believed, like the Nazis did. They believed that the white race was dominant, and they were trying to. It started off in the black community. They were trying to eliminate black people. So that's where abortion actually took hold. Planned Parenthood. That's where they started. If you just want to go look it up, that's history. So who do you think was behind that? You think the devil might have been behind it? Why does the devil want to destroy people? I don't know. I think it's because Jesus said, "Go into all the world and make disciples, preach to everyone." I think it's because the devil doesn't want a bunch of people going to heaven. So the more people he kills, he reckons will be better. I don't know. Maybe it's easier to control the world if the people are in fear and loathing and dying and there's less people. And wherever they've done a lot of abortions and countries are they're all in disarray right now. They're all like falling apart. And yeah, could that be from the devil? Well, yes, could be. Here's another one. This one's really tricky, and this one you probably are going to go, "Wow, that's crazy," but that's okay. Crazy it be. Um, DDT. What? DDT? Yeah, DDT. They at one point in time in this, I think the '60s, they almost had mosquitoes were almost eradicated from the planet. Yeah, this stuff works, and it works so good, and it never, no, not one human was ever harmed from DDT. And they used to spray it over, over the children playing in the playgrounds. They'd spray DDT everywhere. No one ever got sick. The guy from the DDT company actually drank some. He said, "This stuff won't hurt you," and he didn't get sick. He never died of cancer. So what happened? What happened there? Okay, so a woman wrote a book. Shucks, I should have looked it up. Now you're not going to believe me. I think it's called The Eternal Winter or something. Anyway, this woman, this famous woman, wrote a book about how DDT had malformed the eggs of eagles. Thus, they would have destroyed the eagles and wiped the eagles off the planet. Not humans, but eagles. And then, oh man, so they banned it everywhere, the whole world. We don't need DDT. Okay. So then what happened? Well, somebody went in with a double blind study and they said, no, it had nothing to do with DDT. It was pollution in the rivers from the factories. Nothing to do with DDT. Fact. It's a fact. Okay, it's a fact. But you know what? The world doesn't know, it doesn't care, does it? We're still under that sway. So what do we do now? Well, we have the Zika virus, we have the West Nile virus, we have the dengue, we have mosquitoes. I live in the Philippines. They have dengue fever here, right here in the village. They were just smoking. They weren't using DDT though. So I wonder whose plan that was to destroy and kill and maim and wonder. I wonder why that lady wrote that book. I wonder where that idea came from. Well, it must have been DDT. They sprayed DDT here. Yes, they also polluted the rivers. And it turns out that people don't care about the truth. The devil doesn't want you to know the truth. We can talk about other things. There's a guy in prison almost got stabbed to death for killing somebody who he didn't kill. The evidence came out. Oh, yeah, he died. He didn't die of suffocation. That's not why he died. He overdosed on drugs, and he just happened to die while that guy was holding him. Oh, and by the way, that lock he was in, yeah, that was what they taught the police, and yet this poor man almost got stabbed to death in prison, and his life's been ruined. Why? For being a good cop. So yeah, the devil wants to kill and destroy. He wants to kill and destroy people all over the world. So anytime you stop and think about these things, the truth will set you free, brothers. The truth. I'd spray this whole island with DDT tomorrow if I could. I'd spray the whole world with DDT. Get rid of those things. What good are they to the ecosystem? Somebody explain it to me. One of you scientists out there, well, you don't understand. If we can't just go out and, the poor mosquitoes. Yeah, well, I think we can live without mosquitoes in this world. What say you? Get rid of the mosquitoes, right? God has a plan. God has a plan to take the world for Christ. You don't believe it? Oh, that's not going to happen. The world's just getting worse and worse. We're not going to take the world for Christ. What are you talking about? How could that possibly happen? Aren't you looking at what's happening? Yeah, I'm looking at what's happening. There's a lot of bad stuff happening in this world. All right, I guess I'm going to go a little bit longer. Just bear with me for a minute. You go back in history. You think the world's so bad right now? You go back in history. Go back to the communist days. Go back to that. Go back before that. Go back to ancient world where they were skinning people alive and mass murders, and I mean stuff was a lot worse 1,000 years ago than it is today. So if you were to look at the world 1,000 years ago, well, Jesus is coming back today because the world's never been this bad, and it's actually better now. In most ways, it's better. Maybe not in America. Maybe America needs to wake up and quit worrying about the right to kill babies, and maybe America needs to wake up. I don't know. It's not about America, guys. It's about the world. It's about saving people, saving their lives, and saving their life. Why? So they can go to heaven and be with us in eternity. So God bless you guys. I hope this makes sense. God bless you guys. And you know how we defeat the devil? Scripture says the devil walks about as a roaring lion, seeking whom he will destroy. We defeat the devil, resist the devil, and he will flee. Call out on the Lord. Though you're filled with He who is in you is greater than the devil. He's greater than he who is in the. Oh, okay. I'll close with this story. This is a great story I heard from Mr. Frank Peretti once about a bumblebee, a bee. Maybe not a bumblebee, a bee. So a bee comes in the car. The guy's dad's driving his car. Little baby girl's in the back in her little car. Say, "Daddy, a bee!" So he goes out and he doesn't know what to do. So he grabs the bee and he doesn't know what to do because he's driving. He can't just roll down the window right now or whatever. It's an old car. He doesn't even, what am I going to do? So he just lets the bee sting him. Ah! And then he lets it go. Daddy, the bee. Don't worry. The bee can't sting you now. I got the stinger right here. And that's what Jesus says. Don't you worry about the devil. I got his stinger right here. God bless you guys. Ta-ta for now.